evening, late night freaks. I'm here to give Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded eighth house. A read straight from the hip with lots of lip. We're looking at what's on deck in February for the Scorpio collective. And when I say what's on deck in February, you might be thinking, yeah, but February's almost over. Yeah, it is. It's almost over, but these are just the reads for February, the energies that have been in play in February, where those energies are leading. These are things that are introducing themselves into your environment, whether it's in your external environment or in your internal environment. But in actuality, these energies are going to be playing out over a number of months. Okay. So we're just getting a snapshot of where you're at right now and the energies that are coming in, the energies surrounding you and what will be manifesting. So, these energies can play out over a period of time. They are predictive reads. Okay. So tune into the messages, listen to your intuition, flip flop roles as you need to. Most of all, just be open, take what's for you, toss aside the rest, and know that if you were guided here, there's something here for you. These reads are timeless. So anytime you come across this message, it has something for you. And I did get an initial download for you, Scorpio, and that was that you're about to embark on a new financial venture. There is some business project idea. This may be a desire to head into creating a business of your own, a brand of your own. Maybe there is some kind of product you've created, something you want to do that gives you a level of personal satisfaction and independence. And I feel like you really want to be known for something you bring to the table. I think you've spent a lot of time kind of being more the background person in your work situations, and you're really wanting to sort of like, show people what you're working with. You're wanting to bring something forward. There's some idea that you've had. I feel like you're going to get some news about something that can give you some forward motion in this regard. It might be some kind of offer coming in. It might be an offer of sponsorship, an offer of funding. It could also be somebody who wants to partner with you on this thing, has the funds to help invest in it. I do see there's going to be some important communication about this. This may be coming in from a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I do feel like there's some kind of very clear boundaries that need to be created around this, especially if you hope to preserve your ideas, retain that which you have actually developed. Okay. I also feel like you're really wanting to make this leap and head into building this financial stability for yourself, because maybe where you've been working, you were promised a lot of growth, but you actually feel like you're kind of held back where you're at. You know that you can only get so far with it, and it's not stimulating you. You're needing something more. And I feel like you're also wanting to challenge yourself. Maybe some of the things you're contemplating doing freaks you out a little bit. It's something new. You're not quite sure how it'll go, but that's sort of what is driving you to take this leap. Like, it's been a while since you did something that really required you to fall back on yourself and, really reach real deep into yourself and, find the confidence and the courage to just trust that you might have a brilliant idea, that maybe you have something extremely valuable to contribute. And maybe you've been putting yourself in the corner, Scorpio. Nobody puts baby in the corner, okay? So do your thing, get out there and let it shine. But do be aware that there's some need for clear communication if you're going to get any kind of partnering going on, okay? And it was 4:44 on the clock when I said that. So I feel like this is a little bit of angelic guidance coming in, a little bit of otherworldly guidance. I do feel that there is some kind of offer being made to give you some kind of assistance or a leg up, maybe some kind of financial funding. Maybe you've applied for some kind of business loan, something along these lines. But there's some piece here that you really need to consider, because I'm getting that like page wands energy. And Page of Wands, pages are kind of an immature energy, and when we're moving from sort of, I want it right now, that kind of mindset, we're not really considering the long range, picture of things. And I feel like there's really a need for you to take some time to consider and get very clear about that long range picture, what it looks like. So you can be very mindful of any kind of contractual agreements you get into around this, any kind of loans you decide to take on, or sponsorships you decide to be a part of. I think it's very wise for you to be very mindful about everything that you hammer out there. And you also may have to pull yourself out of some business arrangements where you feel like you haven't been really dealt with fairly, and that you're kind of getting like chump change. That's what I got. It's just not sufficient enough. Yeah, I see you taking a risk. Okay. We got the Fool on the bottom of the deck here. So this is you starting a brand new chapter. And I really feel it's in relation to your work. I feel this very strongly. It's something that you want to create for yourself. Now, your work could also have something to do with, um, like some kind of creative project that's close to your heart. But even if it's a creative project, I feel whatever you're doing, whatever you're considering that requires you to take some kind of risk, something that you're building for yourself, I think that you are going to be extremely successful with it. I see you really being satisfied, fulfilled with what you're doing. You're enjoying it. It's something that really allows you to shine and kind of step out of the shadows and into the spotlight, be seen and recognized for what you have to offer. So, I mean, with the Fool, you should go for it. Okay. I do see you ending some contracts. I do see you pulling out of some business arrangements. Some of you are leaving jobs. You're really looking at heading in a new direction. 722. It's a lot more fulfilling for you. I believe you got a lot of luck around this. I think there's a little bit of spiritual pulling of strings. You got some helpers on your side. And it's really going to feel like you're in alignment. And for those of you getting into new business partnerships, after some hammering out of the details, you're really going to feel like, oh, this is so dialed in. This is perfect. 7:44 on the clock, and it leads to great financial success. Okay. So we are going to get into the shuffling now. We're going to be shuffling for a zodiac wheel spread where we're going to look at 12 different areas of life as ruled by the houses. And then we're throwing in a 13th house for a fiacus that I've added to the BroadCoven channel this year, and that will hold down the overarching theme. We'll get that part at the end. I will have timestamps available for you, but I have to wait till this airs. That being said, you might miss out on some channeled messages that come through, but I want you to receive these reads as you wish to receive them. And I hope that if you've been digging what I bring to the table and you haven't subscribed yet, if you just take a moment now to subscribe, it really would help me out. And thank you so much to all of you who've been supporting the channel. It means a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate you. Okay, so shuffling for Scorpio collective, Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded 8th house, stellium, 3 or more planets in that 8th house with one of the placements I just mentioned. Where's Scorpio going to be at? Where's Scorpio at right now? What are they feeling? What's on their mind? Where are they at? What's going on with Scorpio? Mind, body, spirit. What's their focus right now? What's going on for Scorpio collective right now? Where's Scorpio at right now, spirit? Give us some insight into where Scorpio's at right now. I think you're really in a place where you're trying to figure it out. It's like you have some deep, deep impulses, but it's almost like there's like a need for refinement, if that makes sense. I feel like there's certain details that need to be honed in a little bit more. It's like you got the overwhelming feeling. Woo! I think you got a feeling, all right. That flew right out there. Okay. Flew right toward the super awesome future cards. All right. So I think that you got something that's stirring inside of you that could be the makings of a super awesome future. We'll see what that's all about. What's coming up in the house of finances? Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. You need to have a little bit more confidence in yourself. Okay. That's sort of like your missing key. That's That's the piece that you're not looking at. And we'll get into that a little bit more. Okay. What's coming up for Scorpio in the area of communication? What's coming up for Scorpio in the area of communication? What's coming up for Scorpio in the area of communication? What's coming up for Scorpio collective in the area of communication? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. How do I say it? How do I get the words out? I don't even know how to really articulate what I feel. I feel so much. At times I feel pulled in many different directions, but then when I come back to the center, I have one home truth I come back to. Yep, you're at the crossroads, okay? You're making some pretty heavy decision. It's something that's really weighing heavily on you. And you know that you need to communicate about it. And I think that, you're kind of grappling with this and how do you find words for something that really there are no words for? This is what I'm getting. Okay, what's coming up in that fourth house of home? Ooh. All right, this may have to do with somebody you need to talk to as well, that's somehow connected to home or a home. Uh, it's sort of like came out and sort of crossed over that communication card. I pay attention to that, the way stuff flies out of the deck. 11:44 on the clock. I do think there's some kind of piece here. Okay. What's coming up in the area of romance, pleasure, the fun stuff for Scorpio? What is coming up in the area of pleasure, fine, romance? Oh, I almost said finance. Mixing business with pleasure, maybe? Maybe you're looking to get some financial support for your business idea from somebody that you've been involved in, or some kind of tryst with or something. It's interesting because, as I said, that these cards flew right out over that communication house as well. Both coming in as a crossing influence. All right, so we'll see what that's about. What's coming up for Scorpio collective in the area of work and routine? What is coming up for the Scorpio collective in the area of work and routine? What is coming up for the Scorpio collective in the area of work and routine? What's coming up for the Scorpio collective? Oh, God. Right on top. Again, right on top of that communication house. What I'm really getting, 13 on the clock. Okay, that's like a power number. In order for you to step in your power and make the moves that you want to make in your life and change the things you want to change, it all requires you to engage in communication. And I'm getting the hit that these communications are not the easiest communication. You got a lot of crossroad energy coming up in your spread. So you're definitely in a situation where, it has the complication in the sense that, and this is always the case, right? It's not all about you. It's not all about your decision. And I think maybe there's a key about that in there for you, all right? That maybe you're relying too heavily on what other people are going to do, what moves they're going to make. Maybe you need to focus more on what moves you can make independently, where you don't need the approval of outside entities, because right now a lot of stuff in your life is held up because you're waiting on communication from people, places, situations that are outside of your sphere of influence, okay? And it's just causing you to get held back. And I think it's more of a confidence issue. I don't know why you think that you need these outsiders to help you get where you need to go. There's some piece about this, like you're not giving yourself enough credit, all right? You need to do some work around that, like boost yourself up a bit. Okay, what's coming up in the area of serious committed relationships, love unions, the real deal, in it to win it for Scorpio collective? What's coming up in love unions, serious relationships? It's interesting. Cards keep wanting to flip over and then they change their mind. You might be kind of going through a period in your relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, where you're sort of flip-flopping. Maybe it's at the place where things are kind of challenging. Yeah, okay. Got some stuff going on there at the crossroads in committed relationship. Okay, we'll look at that deeper. What's coming up in the area of sexuality, the subconscious, transformation, the depths in life. It's weird. A lot of like energy in your layout that's like thinking of revealing it and then changing the mind last minute and pulling the energy back. It's that tentative, like, almost like you're testing the stinger, There might be a little self-protectiveness exercise right now. There might be a little kind of defensiveness too. Okay. We know that scorpions only do that when they feel really vulnerable. And that's something that a lot of people misunderstand about Scorpios. They always think that they're just so cruel and biting and they'll just whip out their stinger at any point. People don't understand that Scorpios are actually highly, highly sensitive, okay? Highly sensitive. And yes, they do travel the dark terrain. They are very familiar with the undercurrent. And if you think about that, that means that they're also more sensitive to that undercurrent that isn't on the surface with other people. And so it can sometimes, when they tune into the energy, it can make them feel extremely vulnerable and like they have to protect themselves and they're not sure who they need to trust. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio, this is a cross watcher bit coming in. If you're dealing with a Scorpio that is coming off maybe a little bit combative, and it's kind of straining your connection, do be aware that they actually might be feeling very like vulnerable and not safe. See what you can do to try to create some kind of a safe atmosphere for them to come forward. I'm sorry, Scorpio. I just had to interject. Okay. I'm a Scorpio Mercury, so I'm part of this collective too. All right. And oh my gosh, I just had like 5 of my placements move into Scorpio in my progress chart. And they're big placements that are going to be in place for like years for me. So though I'm a Libra, I'm running a lot of Scorpio in tandem right now. So I understand. Okay. What's coming up for Scorpio in the area of travel, spirituality, where they're going to expand in their life, where are they being asked to expand in their life? What's coming in for Scorpio Collective in the area of travel, expansion, spirituality? Okay. Wow. Just so many crossing influences. Okay. A lot of major crossroads decisions to make right now that are going to have a big effect on your future. All right, what is coming up in the area of career, brand, PR, public reputation for Scorpio Collective? What's coming up? Oh, we got a lot coming out there, and it landed all on the communication house again. And I like seeing this because it almost came out as a crossing influence, but it's on the upturn. So I feel like you're in the process of, you're just about to make that decision, okay? And it's in the affirmative. And I think it's going to feel really good for you, okay? And what's coming up in the area of friends, community for Scorpio Collective? Oh, wow. Okay. Crossing influence there. And then what is coming up for Scorpio Collective in the area of the 12th house of karma, hidden enemies, that which is in need of evolution, the blind spot, what they can't see, the shadow stuff. Okay. All right. And we will go ahead and get a card to kind of tie everything together at the end, an overarching theme card. We're going to mark this read starting at 1918. Before you can move forward, you got to first go back. There's something you need to tie up. There's something that wasn't done right the first time. I think it's communication. Because just as I started going into this, like the throat started closing up. So I believe it's about communication. Okay, something wasn't communicated properly. But where are you at? This is great energy, man. We got the sun. Okay, this is happiness. This is healing. This is getting on the other side of everything that you've been through. This is looking ahead toward brighter days. This is not focusing so much on the pain, but instead focusing on what was gained through going through the storm and also feeling hopeful and optimistic because this sun is starting to really touch your life. I think that you're really having a lot of dreams come to fruition. I think that you're feeling very inspired. I also think you look really good. I think the health is something you're really focusing on. You're really boosting your vitality. I'm seeing things like doing a lot of smoothies and just getting a lot of like fresh juices. Maybe you're preparing to do some kind of like liver detox, something like this, liver, gallbladder flush, something along these lines. I feel like you're just wanting your energy to be a little bit lighter and brighter. I think you might be needing a little bit more EFAs. Sun butter would be really good for you, sunflower seeds. Try getting more like nuts and seeds. I think you'll get a lot of benefit from this. Those unsaturated, monounsaturated fats would be really good for you. Also, evening primrose oil, 3,000 milligrams a day is really excellent. Women specific, okay, but good for anybody. Yeah, these are really coming through for you. And I got ashwagandha too, okay? Strong like horse. I'm really picking that up. I think it'll give you a lot of vim and vigor, have you, get your energy back to where it was when you were younger, and that's going to have you really feeling good. I think you're in the process of planning some summer travels too, and you're getting excited about that. This is just really getting through what was a heavy time. I'm feeling the heaviness around it. I mean, because I still see with these cards really highlight that, there's still the shadow there, right? In fact, you kind of got it looks like almost like a cloak, that you kind of, me and my shadow walking down the avenue. You might still have like, you might even feel like you almost got something. This is an interesting message kind of coming through. You might feel like you got something attached to you. Maybe that's what cleaning up something in the past is about. Maybe you got somebody who's still corded in you. Sometimes if you formed like such a negative attachment with somebody because you become more attached to the pain than you do the lesson that you learn through that individual. The energy, if it's fed too much, it can almost become like a thing. Thoughts are things. That's what that means. What you put your attention on, it becomes. And so it's almost like with our thoughts, with our focus, with our negativity, we can almost create like an outside entity that gets attached to us and keeps us in this space of recreating familiar patterns. You might have been dealing with this a bit recently, sort of feeling like that shadow quality kind of, sort of looming. I don't feel like it's come in and cloaked things yet, but I think you kind of feel like it's there. Like maybe you're afraid that all this beauty and light and joy that's starting to build in your world is going to get blotted out, by the way it's always been. I think you need to move beyond this, man, and you have the strength to do it. It's really about you having confidence of getting big, like work on your solar plexus chakra, manipura, you know. You can even get up every morning, first thing when you wake up, open your arms up really wide and just say, yes, okay? I know it sounds silly, but just say, yes, and then clap your hands together. Rub them vigorously so they get nice and warm. Put them right on your solar plexus and close your eyes and just breathe deeply. Breathe real deeply down into the bottom of your belly and envision a sun growing right there at your solar plexus, and just allow that sun to get bigger and bigger and bigger until soon it's just surrounding your entire body. It'd even be great if you could do it while kind of like gazing at the sun, would be very powerful too. I feel like there's a need to connect with solar energy. There's a need to connect with confidence, okay? Connect with confidence. Oh, this is interesting piece. I'm getting big Leo messages in here. So you might be dealing with somebody that has a strong Leo placement. I'm thinking of the hair too, there's this piece about the hair, and I just heard Brahmi, so Brahmi, ashwagandha, I can't help it. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, so a little bit of this is coming in for you all. I got health really in the mainframe. And maybe even the business you're considering getting into has something to do with health. Perhaps that's why it's so front and center. If you are considering getting into anything, around health, maybe you're looking to develop some kind of, beauty products that are more holistic, or hair care products that are more holistic, something along these lines, uh, Brahmi, Brahmi is a really good one. I'm getting Brahmi, ashwagandha. These coming in really strong. And some of you are starting to think about your garden, you're starting to think about your spring garden and what you're going to plant. And maybe this is also part of what you're doing, maybe you're getting into nursery work, or maybe you want to be a florist, or something that allows you to really have contact with the land. Maybe you want to be a farmer, this all coming in. You might be interested in permaculture and more sustainable living, more ecological kind of living. You might be making natural cleaning products, all these things coming in. But I think that you're really heading into this place where you're going to build your confidence, and you're going to let your your light shine in the world. You're not going to hold it back anymore. You're going to step up, and you're going to show people what you're working with. And I think it's going to lead you to a lot of success, and you're going to be really happy. Okay. So this is very positive energy. Just this one thing that I'm getting here with this, about this shadow that you're kind of like dragging along with you. I think it's almost become like an attachment. It's almost become a friend in a strange way, because it's just like so familiar to you. I feel like you got some entity connection to you, and it can be just a thought form, that you've really fed for too long, something that needs to be shed. But I feel like this is kind of like the last little bit. And I think this is going to be illuminated for you. I think you're starting to recognize this. This is coming forward, and that, it's time for me to end this so I can really step into alignment. So I see that as ultimately positive. Okay. I think you're going to get over it. You have the strength on your side to do that for sure. An area of finances, it looks great, but I mean, it landed on the floor, but it's Queen of Pentacles. Okay. This is really knowing how to manifest financial abundance. This is sitting pretty. This is doing very well financially. This is being in a secure place, a strong place that you built for yourself. All right. I mean, look at everything that's growing around this Queen of Pentacles. It's also Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could have one of these strong placements in your chart, or you could be dealing with somebody that's going to help support your business, or has something to offer, or wants to partner with you, or sponsor you in some way, that has one of these signs strongly aspected in their chart. But this is a real groundedness around finances, and it's really about now thinking about what else you want to grow, and I feel this is almost representing what seed you want to plant in the spring. What are you wanting to see come to fruition and really grow in your life by the fall, right? It's time to really be mindful of the seeds you plant, the actions you take in relation to your finances right now, and that you don't just think about in the moment, that you really consider long term. So you might be looking into things like retirement plans, 401ks. If you're thinking of doing an independent business, this might even take a little more forefront in your consciousness, just considering what can I do to really set myself up so I know that I can be supported in my golden years, that I don't have to stress on that, worry about that. So I see you doing a lot of financial planning. I see you opening up maybe you're opening up like a high yield account, or doing some kind of investing, maybe in, the stock market. It's something you're learning about. You might also be working with a financial advisor who's really helping you get in a better position. But I see you in a good, strong, secure place with your finances. The only thing that I think is an issue, because this landed on the floor, so that's always something you're not really looking at, is I feel like you need more confidence in yourself to know that what you have to offer is really valuable. And I feel like it's so important that you just go out there and wreck yourself. Like, you don't need anybody else to help you with this. You can do it on your own. And if you do it on your own, you're going to feel such a boost in your outlook about what's possible for you. And you're going to learn something new about yourself it can really be a cathartic growth process when we take that risk and believe in ourselves. Okay, so invest in yourself. It's going to pay off. Now, in communication, this was such a big deal. Oof, yeah, look, communication's blocked. We got the Eight of Wands in reverse. Things feel a little stalled right now in the communications department. And I think this is very frustrating for you because with it coming in as a crossing influence like this, it's very much like in order for certain things to move forward in your life, you feel like you need this communication to come in. And again, I feel like it's a little bit of this message is coming through. You're putting too much power in other people's hands. This is about you taking the reins and charging forward independently. I'm picking up huge independent energy for you. All right. But somewhere communication has been put on pause. Okay. Something is not moving. I don't see that moving anytime soon. It may be a couple months before there's movement in this direction. We did have a Queen of Swords kind of fly out over this position. So this could have something to do with the air sign, or maybe something that you, Queen of Swords, or somebody Queen of Swords you. You know, you have to pick what side you're on, but this could be a case of choosing to cut off communication, you know, choosing to cut off communication for one reason or another. Somebody could have cut off communication with you. You could have cut off some communication, but it feels like something's kind of like at a gridlock. Something's stalled. Um, I think that you have to really just start to make your moves independently. You can't have it be about other people kind of holding up the show or, you know, giving them the power to stall you out. You have to, you know, you have to keep on trucking, man. And if you're meant to have this communication, you will. It does seem like it's something that's really bothering you, though, that you don't have this communication. This could also be like you were planning on going on a trip. There was some kind of travel plans. These get put on hold. You don't know what's going on. It's very frustrating. It's upsetting. You feel like you can't just go forward, and yet you have all this energy that you want to, you know, get moving out there in the world. I feel like the frustration of it, you know, it's like if only we could clear the air and get this thing moving forward, it could be so good, you know, but for some reason this energy is blocked. And there's a reason for that. Usually, if something is blocked up, there's something that needs to be paid attention to. So I think this is really about you using the time to figure out what you can do independently in and of yourself. And then from there, consider why are these communication blocked? You know, why are these communications blocked? And is there a way to free them up? And if there's not, you know, and somebody's put down a boundary, um, then I have to accept that. And what am I going to do in the meantime? You know, so there's something you're really considering strongly here around the area of communications. And you might want to keep trying to reach out to somebody. Maybe you repeatedly try to message somebody or try to connect with them, and you're just not getting anywhere with it. You know, maybe it's time to look at why do I keep trying when the receptivity is not there. Okay, there's something here that you really need to look at in that regard. I feel like that's coming up pretty strongly. All right. Now, in the area of the home, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, this air sign collective: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is also feeling like you want the truth about something that's going on at home. I think there's something that you feel is not being communicated truthfully about something that's happening on the home front, or something having to do with a home. And maybe you're very frustrated about this. This could have to do with somebody's ex with the Queen of Swords here. Maybe like an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, you know, um, somebody that in some way is kind of holding things up, could be holding things up legally, possibly with something moving forward. I just got mother-in-law too. So for some of you, there could be legal issues in regard to this on some level. There also could be someone here who knows that there's something ain't right that's going on at home. You know, there's something that isn't being communicated truthfully about the home, about things happening around the home. I think somebody is open to communication here, but I think at the same time they got their sword up, and with that sword up and with them beckoning forward, it's like, okay, you can come and talk to me about this. We can talk about this, but you can't beat around the bush. Like, you got to be real about what's really happening here, because usually Queen of Swords upright is got some truth. And if you come forward and you're not giving truth, she knows it, and she'll just cut off communication. And this could have something to do with a home. Okay, this is coming and connected to home in some way, or a home, or something around a move. Okay, there's something here that's not being communicated truthfully, or there could be some kind of legal complication involved, and this is what's causing this holdup. If you're wanting to move, there may be some kind of legalities that are holding things up. Maybe you have a discrepancy with your landlord about your deposit and getting that back. And so this is holding you up from being able to move forward. That coming in too. Okay. There's something to resolve here, though. There's some kind of truth that needs to prevail in this situation for things to be righted at home. And I feel like until there's clear, honest communication, there's a certain truth communicated here. The energy is like cut off. The energy is not willing to like compromise. It feels pretty certain and sure of itself in its position. That's what I'm getting. So it feels almost like kind of a challenging element. I also feel like you are dealing with something at home that you're like not okay with. You're tired of compromising with people about it. And it's like, no, we're cutting this off right now. This is not okay. I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. Okay. So it could be something that's like disrupting your routine, not making you feel your best. Now, in the area of romance and pleasure, we have the Two of Swords with Magician. And again, we got this kind of like blocked off energy. I think you're trying to get clear. I think you're trying to manifest some kind of new beginning with the Magician there. You're trying to manifest some romance in your life. Maybe you felt cut off. Maybe you felt like things have been a little bit cold. Maybe you've been wanting that magic wand, wanting to give somebody that wand, and you're just sitting here going like, look, man, I got the magic stick. All right. I can hit once, I can hit twice, okay? But right now, all I got is these swords, man, and that ain't a good time. I think that maybe there's an opportunity also to kind of like revive something romantically with somebody you were involved with before. Often the Magician, when it comes to romance, can be like a rekindled passion or rekindled love affair from the past, that sometimes can come in, or a romance coming back from like a difficult time when maybe there was separation, or people were in their individual corners not really talking to each other. I feel like there's some kind of like, you want a new beginning here, but you're also wondering if maybe you should either let this energy in, or if you should reach out to somebody. That's what I'm feeling like. You may even be doing a little workings too. You might be spending some time to yourself. You might be doing some workings, to just, I'm kind of feeling like, if that's the case, if you're doing any kind of like love workings, I feel like you're doing like, you know, workings to love yourself and to clear from you anything that is unlike love, like whatever is inside of you that is blocking you from being able to receive love. So maybe you're doing kind of like some magical workings around just sort of like just softening your heart and letting go of old grief and pain, so you can allow yourself to experience this newness and rebirth and love, experience a new beginning in love, to trust in love again, open yourself up to it. You might want to work with something like that, okay? It could maybe be very helpful for you. In the area of work and routine, look, and I'm telling you, you have the Queen of Pentacles down there. We got King of Pentacles up here with King of Wands. Okay. Again, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I see that somebody may be willing to invest in your work. I'm getting that with the, Pentacles energy here. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. This could be somebody that has strong fire and earth placements in their chart. I feel like I'm really getting this vibe of like, this is somebody that wants to come in and they want to help support you in really anchoring your business vision and what you want to grow financially for yourself. I think they're willing to support you in this. I also feel though that they want to see more structure from you. Like I'm really getting that with the King of Pentacles. It's almost like, okay, if you're going to have me invest in this and support you in this, I want to see some fire from you. I want to see some ambition. I want you to really like set yourself up with a schedule. I want you to be working on it. And it may to you feel a little bit, you might feel some resistance around this and this like imposition on your daily routine by what this person wants you to do to sort of like hold up your end of the bargain. But I think what you don't understand is this person sees the brilliance in you. Okay. And they're really trying to support you in bringing your dreams into fruition. They don't want you to sell yourself short. All right. So hear them out. I feel like this person is a really strong business person. Like they know their stuff, they know what they're doing. So do give them, give them an ear, listen to what they have to say. And maybe you might be surprised, it looks like it could be really beneficial to partner on some kind of business venture in this way. I mean, we've got Queen of Pentacles to King of Pentacles there, and we got King of Wands. I see maybe there was that little business with pleasure message that came in too, though. So you might be kind of tempted by this person. The lines between business and pleasure might be a little blurred, and that might make it a little hard for you to just focus on your work. Only you're going to be able to determine if that's possible for you or not. All right. So lean into that. But I do think that this person wants to make a genuine offer of investment into helping you build this business idea you have, this project you want to go forward with. So they got the financial backing to do it too. So you might want to hear them out. Okay. And then in the area of serious love relationships, we got a challenge here. Okay. I think that there's two different scenarios that are coming up here. Okay. The first scenario I got is you're so focused on your stability, you're so focused on your work. We see that you're very absorbed with work here with the Three of Pentacles. You're really wanting to focus on that because maybe you felt like money has been tight a little bit. You might have had some kind of financial loss and you're trying to like get your like security built back up again. You don't want to be in a position where you have to be worried about, maybe you've been worried about home stability too. This is something that's really concerned you. Maybe your person, those of you in these committed relationships, maybe your person like lost their job and it's really been a strain. And so you're starting to like pick up more work. I feel like there's been such a focus on finances and work that, the focus hasn't really been on love. And maybe you both have kind of been feeling the heaviness of this. And so you sort of both feel like you're out in the cold with each other. Like you're not really like connecting on a heart level or on a passionate level. I think again, it's the need to open up the communication and see how can we work together. Like I know we're having these challenges. I know you're struggling with things. I'm struggling with things too, but how can we pull our energy together and work as a team with one another? Okay. Now, the other message I'm getting is that somebody could be stepping out on the relationship because they don't feel satisfied. They feel like the relationship's just for security and they've started working with another person. This could be a third party situation, or it could be some other kind of third element, which can be anything. It can be like going out, drinking with the guys after work. It can be just absorbing yourself so much in work that you don't have time for your person and it's become a distraction. There's some piece here about feeling really like something's lacking. And I feel like what's lacking here is in the area of love. We got nothing but pentacles. It's like, where's the wands? Where's the passion? Where's the cups? You know, where's the love? All right. So I feel like the only way to overcome this is going to be some communication. If there's not communication about it, this will eventually lead to abandonment. I mean, because how could it not? If you stay in a situation like this, then soon you abandon yourself. So I think this is something that's at the mainframe. Again, the key for you is communication. It's all about communication to move things forward. Now, in the area of the eighth house, transformation, accepting the depths of life, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're really looking deeply into things right now. You're not very focused sexually right now. Right now, you're focused on your path. You're grappling with some pretty deep stuff. I feel like, you know, you're still hosting that Scorpio South node. So I think you're really connecting with your spirituality right now is something that's really important to you. You're spending time alone, but it's not unproductive time. You're busy in this process of like chrysalis. You're in a period of transformation, and you're going through some challenging things. You could also be dealing with a Virgo with that hermit card there. Okay. It could be around this person. Maybe, you know, there's some subconscious stuff coming up in you that's creating some issues in your connection with this person that you need to shine a light on. I think you're needing time alone to get clear about this. You might be doing a lot of walks, a lot of hikes, just to sort of like get in touch with what you're feeling. I think you're growing a lot through this process. You know, I'm feeling like this has a lot to do with in the coming up in the house of sex in your house. Okay. I feel like you're going through a deep spiritual transformation. And I feel like also in the realm of sexuality, where it's not just about sex now, it's more about intimacy. And maybe there's something about heading into that intimacy, you know, that's bringing up a lot of subconscious stuff that needs to be looked at. I see a lot of growth for you though, and time when you're just kind of wanting to be in your own energy, um, connect with your soul to get clear on what you need to see that you haven't been aware of before. It's like almost before this externalized communication comes in, you need to first get clear with what's communicating on the deeper levels of yourself, and then everything will be like crystallized for you. Okay. Then in the area of travel, okay, expansion, we got an invitation coming forward. Could potentially be from somebody with Pisces strongly aspected in their chart. Doesn't have to be. It's just a little something. Okay. I think this is somebody who has a crush. I'm getting big crush vibes. Um, Maybe they want to travel and see you, or they're inviting you to go out and do something with them. I almost got like something on the water. I'm cluing into the water here behind the page and the fish. Like maybe they want to take you fishing, or they want to take you, maybe they want to take you to Baja, or, you know, something by the sea, you know, maybe a seaside drive or something, a little getaway. I'm getting something along these lines, but I feel like this invitation is coming forward, and it is for, you know, exploring possibilities. I think you feel a real romantic affinity with this person. I think they also feel an affinity with you. At the same time, it's, you know, it's a page of cups and there's a fish in there. Okay. So you might be uncertain about what you want to do with this invitation, this offer. You might not be sure if you want to take them up on this. Maybe you want to make an offer to somebody too, but you're not so sure. Maybe you feel like a fish out of water making this offer. You don't quite know what to say. You don't know if you should extend this invitation, but you really feel a connection with somebody and you want to. I feel like this might be part of the reason why you're kind of turning within. There might be some kind of conflict within yourself that you're trying to resolve around this. Like, do I extend the invitation? Do I accept the invitation? It might have something to do with travel. It might have something to do with travel. And I think that's why the hermit is kind of cluing into the hermit there. You know, you might really be considering a Virgo in regard to this. Okay. If you're in a committed relationship, that story did come in about maybe it hasn't been very romantic. You know, maybe you're wanting to suggest, hey, maybe we should go on a little getaway, or maybe they will suggest this to you. Or it could be somebody from outside the relationship says, hey, and you find yourself tempted and you're put in a little bit of a dilemma in that situation. I could see it working out, you know, one of three ways just with what came in prior. Okay. You'll know how it speaks to you, but just know there's some kind of invitation coming your way. Quite possibly it could be around travel, something around the water, and you're considering it. Okay. Well, what comes up next though, when we look in the 10th house, is Ace of Wands in reverse, Five of Wands in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, Strength in reverse. This is all your career, your public image, your reputation, your brand. It's like you have all these brilliant ideas, you know, something. I feel whatever you're wanting to do, it really is fueled by a lot of passion. I also feel like your words or the way you communicate comes into play. It's so interesting. Communication, all this communication piece. Maybe there's something you want to develop online. But remember, I told you, you really need your confidence and strength in reverse. It's like there's almost a part of you that's just like, I feel like I can't even do it. Like, why bother, you know? And it's almost like you're giving up before you even get started with the Five of Wands in reverse. You know, I think that if all these energies were turned upright, I think you would be a strong contender, okay, with the Five of Wands. I think people would see you as competition because what you want to create, it has a lot of strength backing it, man. And you really could shine. Like you really could shine. You're your own worst enemy. You're sabotaging yourself. And it's really about you stop letting these other people hold you up. Why are you letting other people hold you up? It's like you're waiting for other people to facilitate what you want to do. It's ridiculous. Do what you want to do. You have such a brilliant idea here, but you need to strike while the iron's hot and move forward with this before you lose all motivation and it's just another dream in the dustbin, okay? So important, all right? Don't give up on your dreams. Make them happen. Now, in the area of friends, okay, and community, you got somebody coming forward, all right? And this may be that financial backing you need, the financial you know, revenue you need to really pursue your dream. There's some seed that you can plant here that can grow into the fruition of that Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy. So this is coming towards you. So do be looking for an offer to come in. Again, I feel like there's somebody that's going to present you with some kind of opportunity. It's about investing in what you want to grow. You may feel like you've been waiting around forever for this money to come through. That's what I'm getting with that Three of Wands there. You're just like, you're just waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. I feel like it's coming in. I don't feel like you're going to have to wait much longer. I feel like it'll come in before Pisces season is done, to be honest with you. And we just started Pisces season. So, like maybe in the beginning of April, you'll get some kind of word in the affirmative that this is being worked out. But I do feel like there's a little bit of a delay. Okay. There's a delay before this comes through. And I think you're feeling frustrated by that. But don't lose steam. What can you do to get this thing off the ground before you get the financial funding? Think outside the box, man. Okay. And we got in the house of the blind spot and the need for evolution, karma, hidden enemies. We got a page of wands. Okay. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So, you know, I think this relates to the communication that's held back. Maybe this is the person that's been blocked. Maybe you blocked this person's communication or they blocked you because there was some kind of immaturity in this communication. That's what I feel. I feel like somebody is opening up to communication with you. I think maybe you don't trust this person, you know? Maybe you don't trust this person. Maybe you still are seeing them through the eyes of the past. Maybe this is somebody you knew in the past. Maybe you're still seeing them like this and you're not recognizing that they've actually grown. You know what I'm saying? Because we got King of Wands here and we have Page of Wands, right? So maybe, this energy is leveled up. Maybe what you all went through taught this person something. But I think you feel like you can't necessarily trust this person with it coming up in the house of the hidden enemies. And I do think you have a blind spot when it comes to this person. Maybe it's hard for you to keep passions at bay with this person. It's hard to consider a financial, arrangement or some kind of business collaboration with this person because it's more than that for you, or maybe you suspect it's more than that for them. There's some kind of karmic cleanup here to do, though, and there's something around finances and communication that needs to be resolved with this person. And it's also about you seeing them accurately. I do feel like that you're going to get some kind of communication coming in. I feel like it's very small, right? And that you shouldn't let that like upset you. You should just be open to what the communication is, and then maybe take your time with that hermit to feel out, what that communication is trying to tell you. All right, let's get that 13th house message for an overarching theme for Scorpio collective. What does Scorpio need to focus on right now? What do they need to know? What is the overarching theme for Scorpio collective? What is the overarching theme for Scorpio collective? Overarching theme for Scorpio collective. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we have the cauldron, synergy and healing. Owl, wise seeing, wise action, right? That's giving me big hermit vibes, right? The ability to see through the darkness, see the light through the darkness. We got death, the eternal cycle begins here, right? So again, moth to the flame, right? Transformation, big time of transformation for you. We have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death, and it's in reverse. All right. And we got werewolf, exploring wildness, also in reverse. Okay. So what I'm really getting here is that there's a connection that you're transforming. You're choosing yourself. That's what I'm getting. You're choosing to let something go that maybe at one time, you felt was your end all be all. This person really helped you connect with very like wild, free part of yourself. And maybe you were drawn to them for that reason, right? There might be something that really comes through at the full moon for you that just really highlights the need to bring this to a close. I do see that you're really looking at the shadow aspects of this connection with the owl. You're finally using that light of the hermit, to shine on your path forward, how you want to move forward. You realize you want to do things differently. And you've learned, owl medicine in a lot of indigenous tribes is deceiver feathers. Okay. It's also magic, right? With the cauldron being here. Maybe there was even some full moon workings that were done in the past that maybe seemed harmless but had a negative effect on this connection. We never know when we're doing spell work. This is why I just think it's better not to mess with that stuff. But you never, and that kind of came up earlier too. Okay. So you never know how a spell manifests, right? It's like you can choose how you want it to manifest. You can think that you're not, thinking of a particular person when you're doing a love working. But the problem with that is that the subconscious is always operating. So even though you think you may not be, you may still be trying to manifest a specific person because you have that subconscious influence working on another level. You may feel maybe this person did some workings on you, all right? It could work both ways. Either way, I do see you doing some transformational work around this. I feel like you're releasing that shadow, that entity that was attached to you. so it doesn't block out your sun anymore. It came in the beginning. You're letting this death occur because you know this death brings you transformation. And this is